Yo, what is up, guys? This is Wans12345 and I'm back with another YouTube video. This, guys, it's my Premier League prediction video, yes. And by the time this video has come up, the first game of the Premier League has already kicked off, Liverpool against Norwich, and at the time, I don't know the score, but I've done my Premier League prediction. I want to see everyone's squads after the window was done, and I've done it, and I'm ready to kick off. So yeah, let's get started. I've got my sheet of paper here, yeah, let's jump straight in, shall we? In 20th, I have is Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield could easily surprise the Premier League on how well they can do with Dean Wilder, I think it's Dean Wilder, I believe. And yeah, but their business hasn't been great. You know, their signings are more championship type of players, you know. You got Ravel Morrison, you got Phil Jagielka at 36, Callum Robson. It doesn't look good. I want to think about Burner. Yes, he may be a quality striker in the Championship, but that's in the Championship. He's not a Premier League striker. So I don't know how the hell Sheffield United are going to stay out this year. I mean, it will take a miracle for them to stay out, but yeah, I have Sheffield in 20th. In 19th, I have is Brighton. Now, Brighton is a tricky one because Brighton have bringing in quality players, especially the window, close to the window. They brought Aaron Moy, Trossard, but I don't think they're going to be able to hang on. I mean, they've been just hanging on by the brink. Like the past 2 seasons, been hanging on by the brink. And I think this year they're going to slip, and I think they're going to fall into the bottom 3. And I think Brighton, you're going back down to the Championship. In 18th, I have is Norwich. Now, Norwich can easily be swapped for the 17th team I have in the table, which I'll get to in a minute. But they can easily avoid the relegation spots if Teemu Pukki starts scoring and their signs actually work. They've got Ralph Farmer, who's a quality goalkeeper, so he should be able to get them a lot of saves and hopefully get quite a few clean sheets this season in the Premier League. I don't believe in Norwich. I don't believe Teemu Pukki is going to be able to like convert, you know, all those goals he scored in the Championship into the Premier League. So yeah, I have Norwich in 18th, and I know some people might rate them highly, but personally, I don't think their squad is strong enough, and I don't think they're going to stay in the Premier League, especially spent like I think 1.1 million. It doesn't look too strong in my opinion. The 17th spot is Burnley. Now, Burnley is a tricky one because they could, like I said with Norwich, they could easily be swapped. They could easily be in 18th because, you know, Burnley have a reputation on dropping form, and they massively dropped form last season. They missed out on getting into Europe, into the Europa League. Then they just dropped off massively, and I feel like this season, I think they're getting ready for the Championship. They brought in Danny Drinkwater on loan. They brought in Jay Rodriguez, and there's not really ambitious signings to help you stay up in the Premier League. So, yeah. Burnley, you better be lucky because I put you at 17th. In 16th, I have is Watford. Now, Watford, I don't think are going to improve on their season last year. I mean, they got to an FA Cup final. They managed to finish 11th, and it was a good season for them, don't get me wrong. But this season, I don't think you're going to be able to keep that form. You've got Danny Drinkwater, a 28-year-old striker. He's been quite injury prone over the past couple of years. I mean, you got Sarr, who bought him from Stade for record transfer fee, which that's good. I don't think he's be able to like be the free scoring left winger that everyone expects him to be. Everyone expects him to be the next Richarlison. I just don't see it. I really don't see it happening. Sorry, Watford. I mean, you're still gonna stay in the Premier League, but I don't think you're gonna get a high enough finish this season. In 15th, I have Aston Villa. The reason I have Aston Villa staying up is they've been ambitious with their money. They've been looking to spend their money and looking to stay in the Premier League. Now, Norwich and Sheffield have been spending money. Sheffield spent 40 million, but they're more Championship signings. Norwich didn't spend enough money, but Aston Villa did a bit of both worlds. They brought in quality Premier League signings, and they also kept their Championship squad from last year, and they brought in a few foreigners from other countries, which I think is good business, you know. What the hell is that? Anyway, I generally think Aston Villa could stay up, especially if Dean Smith is still there. I believe he'll be able to keep them up. And, you know, I think Aston Villa are going to be that team that does stay in the Premier League again, because a team like them should not be in the Championship. They are a European team that, you know, obviously, yeah, haven't been in Europe for quite some time, but if they stay in the Premier League and gain all that Premier League money, I think they'll soon get back into Europe eventually. But right now, I think this season, they just need to focus on staying in the Premier League, and I think that's the best thing for them. So yeah, Aston Villa 15th. 14th I have is Crystal Palace. Now, the reason I have Crystal Palace at 14th is due to the Wilfred Zaha incident. Now, Wilfred Zaha handed a transfer request, and that didn't happen. That got denied, and then the transfer window shut. So I feel like that's going to affect their season mainly, because Zaha was their star man, and he's going to want to move in January. Or if he doesn't get a move in January in the next transfer window, he's going to leave you, Palace, and you had to deal with that. Palace fans, how do you feel about Zaha having a transfer request? Because that doesn't look good on you, especially when you want to fight, you know, to get into a decent spot. And if Zaha wants to leave your club, it doesn't really look good. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think I have Palace at 14th. 13th I have is Newcastle. Now, Newcastle have been quite ambitious with their signings, especially bringing in people like Joel Linton. They brought in Andy Carroll, Saint Maxime. They brought in Jetto Williams. So some decent signings. And obviously, at the start of the window, previously in my old prediction video, which it wasn't really a prediction video, it was in my old prediction list, I had them to finish in the relegation spot. But gradually over the window, I've been like, you know what? I think they generally could stay up with the signs they've made. And yeah, I have Newcastle in 13th. In 12th, I have it Southampton. Now, Southampton, I think, are going to have a good season. They got Ralph Hasenhüttl, who's a quality manager. They haven't really brought many people in. They brought in Kevin Danzo. I'm trying to think. Did they bring anyone else in? I can't think. They brought in Che Adams. They brought in Danny Ings and Digendo or Gipono. I can't remember his name. The left winger, the Mali left winger. So decent signs, and I think Che Adams is a quality pickup for Southampton. But we all know eventually he will go to Liverpool and become a backup striker to Firmino in a couple of years' time. I just see it. He's that type of Liverpool English player that goes to Liverpool. I just see it. It's personally the way I look at it. But yeah, I have Southampton in 12th. In 11th, I have is Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth have done decently in this window. They brought in Harry Wilson, Danjard, I think his name is, the Dutch left winger. They brought in Lloyd Kelly. They brought in Stacey from Luton. So they brought in a lot of good players, especially English talent. They're very good at finding some quality bargains. And then bringing in Harry Wilson online, I think that's a quality deal for them. I hope there's an option to buy in there. But yeah, generally, he's pretty much a like-for-like placement for David Brooks, who's been injured. So he should be coming back in October. So I can't wait to see how that squad all goes together when all their best players are in one squad. That's just going to be mental. So yeah, Bournemouth in 11th. In 10th, I have is Wolves. Wolves, I think, is going to be a huge situation for them, because if they get into the Europa League through the qualifiers, they're going to struggle. And not many clubs can handle Europa League, especially with the long draining games you have. Especially got the extra round, the round of 32 stage. That's going to be a massive draw on most European clubs. And I think with Wolves, it's going to be a massive toll on their season. Especially going to have to rest a lot of players, because it's going to be a lot of injuries and a lot of tiredness. So I think Wolves are going to finish 10th. It's not going to be a bad spot for them, but it should be a right place for them in this table. In 9th, I have is Everton. Now, Everton have made some quality business. They brought in Gambendin, I think his name is. I can't remember. The guys from Mainz. They brought in Delph. I don't think did I bring anyone else? Oh yeah, it's Dibe. I don't think anyone else. I can't think of. Oh, and Andre Gomez on a permanent. So some quality business. I can't deny. Quality business from Everton, but I still don't think it'll be enough to get into that Europa League spot. I think maybe a quad. You need a quality striker. Yes, Richarlison is a great goal scorer, but he's more of a winger, and I think you need that a goal streaker like you had with Lukaku, who's gonna bang in those goals and get you back into it. You need a quality goal scorer. So yeah, other than Janway, everything you need to look for a top goal scorer. So unlike Ben Yedder, that's a suggestion. Go for Ben Yedder. He's a quality striker. He got 18 goals and 9 assists, I believe, in La Liga. So go get him. In 8th is West Ham. Now West Ham could easily be in 7th. It was a massive decision between the team in 7th and West Ham. And I couldn't decide. I literally couldn't decide. It came down to the last minute. And I went with West Ham simply because I don't feel like West Ham will get into the top 7. Like, it's tricky. It really is. But I don't know. I really hope West Ham get into Europe. I really do. But I just see West Ham needed a few more signings, and I think they're ready. I think they're ready to get into that Europa League spot. So maybe in January to buy a few more quality players. I generally think by the end of the season they could be in Europa League spot. But right now, I had them in 8th. I think 1 or 2 more signings, and I think they're golden. I think they're ready for the golden age. And I think Pellegrini's going to lead them into a new era at West Ham. In 7th, I have is Leicester City. Now, like I said, it's a swap between these two. But the reason I went with Leicester over West Ham is because of Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers is a quality manager. He knows how to bring the best out of players. And Brendan Rodgers is a manager that knows how to win games. There's no doubt about that. He, a couple of years ago, nearly led Liverpool to the title. So imagine what he could do with a team like Leicester. I think he could easily get you into Europe. I genuinely do. But you didn't replace Maguire with another centre-back, quality centre-back. Obviously, you got Benkovic in there, who's just come back on loan from Celtic. I think else. You got Wes Morgan. I wouldn't really rest my laws on Wes Morgan, in my opinion, but that's just my saying. But I think Brendan Rodgers can generally bring the best out of all your players, and I think generally, if you can hang on to him and buy a few more quality players like West Ham, you can be set for Europe. In 6th, I have is Man United. Now, Man United, yeah, they haven't really done any great business. I mean, they brought in Wan-Bissaka, quality right back, and he's probably a future England international, or what he probably is. I think he already is, isn't he? Well, I think he's playing for the under-21s. But yeah, he's a quality right back, and I think that's a good pick up there, 50 million. But something that wasn't great business was Harry Maguire for, what was it, 80, 85 million? I would have possibly paid 85 million for Harry Maguire. Yes, he's a good centre-back, but he's had 1 or 2 good seasons. He got a good World Cup. He scored that goal. Is that really worth 85 million? I wouldn't think it will. I mean, he hasn't won anything, for God's sake. And somehow he's worth more than Van Dijk. That just doesn't seem to make sense for me. So, yeah, I have you in 6. I don't think you're going to get back into it with that squad when you still have Bill Jones and Chris Smalling in the centre-back line. Not good. In 5th, I have... It was a tricky one to decide. It's between 2 London clubs, Chelsea and Arsenal, and I've gone with Chelsea. And the reason I've gone with Chelsea is because I think that squad's going to need a bit of time to adapt, especially because managing like Dort is always come and going, and they've got to get used to new systems. But I think Lampard could bring the best out of the squad if you're using youngsters. But I don't think it'll be enough. I think he'll have he'll have a good time out in Europe after the big European competition in the Champions League. I think he'll easily go out in the last 16 or the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yeah, I just see Chelsea not really getting into the Champions League this season. In 4th, I have is Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, on deadline, really impressed me. They brought in Tierney, they brought in David Luiz, and then they brought in Martinelli, Pepe, Zabelos. They've really impressed me this window, and I have them coming back into Europe. I generally do. With Emway at the helm, and them having such a good strength in numbers and depth. I'm impressed with Arsenal, I really am, and I think they're going to get top 4. I generally do. I believe so. I believe Arsenal will get into Europe, and as a Tottenham fan, I don't realise saying that, but it's true. I generally think you're going to get back into Europe this season. So good luck, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that goes correctly. In third, I have is my team, Tottenham Hotspur. If you can see that, Tottenham Hotspur. Anyway, the reason I picked Tottenham was they've done some solid transfer business, and I think they're going to continue their great form from last year. I'm not saying they're going to go and win the league, because that's not really realistic, especially with our squad. I don't think right now that would happen. Maybe if we bought in, Coutinho loan and Dabada on a permanent deal, maybe I could say that, but at the moment, I don't think so. So I think a solid third for Tottenham this season, and yeah, I think the boys will still have a solid season under Pochettino. In second, I have is Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, I don't see you challenging City anymore. I mean, you had a solid season and chased them to the final game of the season, but you couldn't beat them. And you managed to win the Champions League, but you didn't sign anybody. In the transfer window, you signed Adrian, a goalkeeper that's been released by West Ham because they didn't think he was good enough. Then you signed Van der Berg, who, don't get me wrong, good centre-back, but he's a centre-back for the future, not for the here and now. So, yeah. And then you brought in Harvey Elliott, the youngest Premier League debutant, and he's not going to get into the first team. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's not going to play Salah, he's not going to play Mane, he's not going to play Firmino. So he's more just a player for the future. And I'm sorry, Liverpool, I don't see you challenging City. I think City have got this wrapped up, and that comes to the winners, City. City are going to win the league. It's pretty obvious. They've got the strongest squad in the Premier League. They've made their improvements. They've brought Angelino, a solid backup left back. So whenever Mendy gets injured, he's ready to come in. Solid business from Man City. Then they brought up Cancelo, one of the best wide backs in the world, in my opinion. And they swapped him for with Danilo and for a bit of money, and that's just solid business from City. And now they got a solid, back line. That's all I can say. They got a solid back line. It's just mental. They've pretty much got a good player in every position. They got a good first team lineup, and then they got a good backup. It's just mental with their business. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I think City are going to win away with the league. But generally, I think Liverpool could drop out of the top four. It could happen. It really good with their business. The fact they didn't buy anybody, it could really have a dampen their season. Hell, Chelsea could get into the top four if Liverpool don't bring anybody in January, because with their business currently, I don't think it's going to help you stay in the Premier League. So, yeah, not stay in the Premier League, sorry, I mean stay in the top four. Because Liverpool, you really should have brought someone in just to have strength and depth. You didn't really bring in a replacement for Moreno. You brought in nobody. You only got Andy Robertson, and then you got Clyde who's injured. So you really need to sort out your fullbacks, but that never happened. So yeah, you need backup for your front line because you got no backup. And City have done that, but you haven't. So yeah. But anyway, that's going to be the end of my predictions for the season, and hopefully it all goes well. And yeah, I'm out. Peace. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.